Ben Ricciardi is in the house to help us get our brand and social media on point. How are you? He's the founder of
Excellent.
Times 10, and you're also a partner in ZZZ Natural.
Yeah, it's my brother's new cannabis company that is to help people fall asleep better in a more natural way. I actually used it last night, couldn't fall asleep, took one puff, out like a light.
Wow.
So it was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
to know.
Ben Times 10.
Yes.
How did you build this brand for yourself? You're known to say you failed your way to success.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I have a pretty crazy story. I moved out here a minute ago to be in the music industry, lived in my car for a month, hustled my way up, then got beaten down in the music industry and started a creative agency with about $1,500 8 years ago. Now I got 25 employees. We're working with Adidas and MGM. I'm flying out to Vegas to do a project with MGM today. And then my socials just started growing from what we were doing and what I was doing. And, you know, a few people wanted to follow me, which was fun.
So what tips could you give us to fail our way to success just like you did?
Well, I think you have to understand that every day you get to start out new. And that if yesterday was a brutal day, today you get to wake up and kind of beat the failures that you had yesterday. I've been knocked down so many times, but I don't allow it to define me. I allow really my resiliency to define me. So I've seen every side of the bottom and I've figured out my way how to move up the rung and find some success.
So we found over and over, you know, that success is, of course, self-defined by each person.
Sure.
And we found that, you know, more money does not necessarily equal fulfillment.
No,
and so
absolutely not.
what is the mission? And do you have what's your why behind
Yeah,
what
I mean,
you're doing?
absolutely. I mean, my hope is to empower so many people that are sitting at home that hope for something more and more success. Maybe the monotony of a 9-to-5 and they want to become an entrepreneur. Or even if you're in a 9-to-5, how do you kind of have more success at that? And I think we all lack this sense of believing in ourselves. I've lacked it so many times, but I think the more we can motivate each other, build our village, build people up, not break people down. I think too much today it's filled with negativity instead of we can all be successful. And I don't think we're competing with each other. I think we should be more competing with ourselves.
I think it's interesting you mentioned the village because when I was reading about you, you said that there were ways and things that your parents taught you that my parents didn't teach me.
Yeah, I mean, my parents were incredible in the way that they empowered my brother and I to fail and succeed. There was no kind of rule. There was no kind of hard rules when we were growing up. It was much more about here's what's right, here's what's wrong. You guys kind of figure out the rest and we'll help guide you, which was really incredible for us because we got to kind of see a lot of different things growing up, which was super helpful.
Okay, so give us some hacks. We say if someone comes to you and they're like, okay, I want to get my brand and my social media on point. What are those tips you have?
Yeah, I think the first thing is that if you want your social media to grow and to be something, understand it's not for you. It's for your audience. And you know, you have to bring your energy there, but you know, your cousin Jimmy's birthday probably isn't super important to your followers. So putting that on your feed may not be the move. Maybe put it on your story, it'll go in 24 hours. And I think understanding content is king. Come with a message, come with something that somebody can gravitate to and want to latch on to. And I think more often we aren't coming with a purpose. Right. And I really try to push, you know, a motivational purpose, really trying to give people tips, hacks, things like finding their dream job, stuff like that.
So I struggle with that because as a doctor of divinity, I teach universal law, I develop spiritual coaches, but I also find that when you do a selfie, it gets double the likes.
Yeah, and I definitely understand that a lot of social is a beauty contest, which isn't a bad thing, but I still think it's how do you bring that and how do you still bring your purpose in it? How do you bring beauty tips? How do you bring whatever you're bringing to the table in that circumstance? Keep pushing that. And I think hopefully they can tag along for the selfies and you can spread some other knowledge, some other ways,
sure,
and hopefully give them that information.
Well, yeah, I do both, but still, like the actual post, like, I mean, we would do like below all the copy of teaching something.
Sure.
But people want to see a face. It's bizarre.
Yeah, I think that's the world we live in today, and that's probably not going to change. But know your audience, and the more you can know your audience, the more you can give them what they want.
But how do we know ourselves and find that social media identity?
Yeah, I think it's not a single target that you can see. It's a moving target, which I think is important to see, and really reading your insights, your audience, figuring out what people like. So you're saying it's selfies. For me, I'm very much like, I made a post yesterday that I thought was going to do so well, and it fell flat and didn't work like I wanted it to work. 2 days ago, I did a post that I didn't think was going to be that big. It was 4 times as big. So, I mean, you have to study what's working. This is where I go with the fail fast thing. You post, oh, wow, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. You let it sit there for a minute, but quickly understand, hey, we have to divert mission and change to something else.
It seems almost virtually impossible, though, because as soon as you hack the algorithm changes.
Absolutely.
So what are the
It's a
trends?
moving target. for sure.
Completely. What are the trends happening now that we should jump on board with?
Well, I think if you're looking at Instagram alone, or really any of them, they want you to use their native tools. So, for example, Instagram has launched IGTV, which is a big thing for them. Utilize that as quickly as possible to get into that mix. If they come out with, like the lyric thing last week, they want you to use that
That's
in your
TikTok?
No.
Oh, yeah, the lyric thing. Oh,
Instagram,
yeah, where it
Instagram is
posts-
allowing
oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
to post lyrics from a song.
Yeah.
They want you to use that, so they're going to make your stories where you use that. It's going to hit more of your audience.
Oh, yeah.
So understanding what the social channels and the social media companies are doing, and utilizing what they're giving you, and that's going to push and help you.
And have you heard about TikTok, that they're going to be putting that in with Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, there's different mergers going on, and TikTok is looking to figure out ways to grow their audience, and then Instagram sees that that's hitting a more youthful audience, because TikTok's used by really a younger audience than what a lot is on IG. So I think it's a smart move.
Cool.
Well, thank you, Ben Times 10, for sharing your insight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please tell everyone where they can find, follow, and work with you if they're interested.
At Ben Times 10, times 10, which is all 10, and times10.net. That's us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Stay
Absolutely.
tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.